We're here at Woolsthorpe Manor and I've met a very interesting gentleman who's a spoon maker. Hello sir, can you tell us all about yourself and how you got into this trade?
Well, my name's Ralph Hentle. I'm a traditional spoon maker. I've been making spoons for just over 50 years, and how I became interested in the craft is on completing my national service. I was looking for a hobby, and at that time the old spoon makers were dying out, the plastic age was coming in, and I read an article in a woodworking magazine, and it was by Edward Pinto, the great authority on spoon making and treen and small woodware, and he was lamenting the fact that the old spoon makers were dying out and the young men weren't taking up the trade. And it grabbed my fascination really. I hadn't got a clue about spoon making, the woods from which they were carved or anything to do with it. So having been fairly good at woodwork at school, I worried curator museums and got them to dig their old spoons out of the archives and the vaults, and I studied them, how to make the chains and the loose balls in the cages, and also, more important, the folklore of spoon making. See, most people only imagine that spoons come from Wales, the love spoon comes from Wales, but in actual fact you'll find the love spoon in many European countries, and even in Africa there's a ceremony of spoon making where the boy carves a very small spoon on a 4-foot stick, and he pokes it through the grass halls of the hut in which the intended bride is sitting, and if she accepts him, she'd push the spoon out, and if she doesn't, then she'll break off the handle and he'll pull the stick out. Oh, right. So you've got this sort of folklore of giving a spoon, and the whole idea of giving a spoon in courtship, because this is what the Welsh love spoon really means. You give a spoon to the girl and you're saying to her, here is my spoon, I will provide for you later on in marriage and through life. So he may make half a dozen for her trousseau and she would take them home. He may have to walk 3 or 4 miles across the valley to give them to her, but nevertheless they would be given in love and courtship, and then she would use them in the home. And as she used them, she would think of her lover. And there may be sort of added motifs on the spoon. He may add the name of the girl. He perhaps put a heart. But they weren't the intricate spoons that I carve today. Although, having said that, I still make very simple spoons for people who want one. But the elaboration of the spoons and the decoration was added to through the centuries. And those additions, of course, are the legacy of the spoons which you see hanging up here today.
Can I ask you what these spoons are made of? Because we've got different shades of wood here.
That's right, they're all made from different woods. My predominant wood probably is sycamore. And then I go on to all the woods right across the board: apple, pear, plum, cherry, walnut, alder, lime, peach, and then of course you've got the garden shrubs, ceanothus, and all those sort of woods.
You've got the most attractive, unusual hat here, carved with all sorts of different wooden trinkets, and we've got a clock and a spade,
yes,
and a boot and a little robin.
That's right.
Absolutely wonderful.
Well, it's like a charm hat really, and when I'm sitting carving as I'm doing now, the children come up and they like to fondle. Obviously if all children like to touch, and so I'm quite happy for them to have a look, and I take them round the spoons and show them, and then they can learn a little bit of the English folklore by doing so.
Who taught you to make all these?
I taught myself. I've never had a carving lesson. Apart from school, I've never had a carving lesson in my life. I didn't go to art college or anything of that nature. I'm a purely self-taught spoon maker.
Have you ever thought about teaching others, running?
Yes, I do teach. I take spoon making classes at home on weekends, and I usually do about 4 classes a year. And it doesn't matter how old they are or how young they are. I've got a 13-year-old girl coming on the 3rd of November with her mother, and they're coming on the course. I've never had a failure. And they complete the project. I'll do a spoon in lime. They all make a chain. They end up in making a chain work by which the spoon hangs, a figure of 8 handle, and then a heart-shaped bowl, which of course means I love you.